I am
Martin Asiedu-Dartey. Here are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Tonight, fresh contention in Parliament over a number of tax waivers scheduled for approval for some companies under government's flagship One District, One Factory policy.
Right to Information Commission secures prosecutorial mandate to compel institutions to respond to and fulfill information requests.
And on our build-up to the district-level elections, we focus on campaign promises by assembly members in the lead-up to December 19.
Coming up in business news, Ghana Revenue Authority cracks down on some businesses at Teshi for issuing unapproved invoices.
And on the international front, High Court in Uganda's capital, Kampala, sentences 25-year-old serial killer to 105 years in prison. Let's know what you think about the many stories we have for you tonight. We are airborne. We are live around the world on 3news.com and on Facebook, as well as DSTV channel 279.
The news now in detail. There is fresh contention in Parliament over a number of tax waivers scheduled to be approved for some companies under government's flagship One District, One Factory policy, while the minority contends that the waivers are unnecessary at a time government is heaping new taxes upon Ghanaians. The sector minister justified the move as one good for the country's industrialization drive.
The minority in Parliament in November raised questions with some 45 companies the government had penned down to grant tax exemptions to under the One District, One Factory initiative. The companies represented to Parliament as strategic investors worthy of parliamentary approval for tax exemptions. The minority in Parliament on Wednesday resuscitated the issue, indicating that another set of tax waivers worth 7 billion Ghana cedis will be tabled by government soon.
Here you are, wanting to grant 12.5 billion Ghana cedis to your friends and your family members in the name of tax exemptions and the 1D, 1F. At the same time, you are imposing taxes to the tune of 11 billion. I mean, can you just suppose the two? You are taxing the common Ghanaian, the poor Ghanaian, to raise 11 billion for your development agenda for the 2024 financial year. At the same time, you are ready to exempt 12.5 million Ghana cedi to your friends and to your family members. We think that it doesn't make sense to us.
The Minister for Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond, rebuffed the allegations and said the tax exemptions were well-intentioned.
It's a policy of government, a deliberate policy to encourage local production and a transformation of our economy to purposely give out, as I said, incentivize them by the facility we're talking about, the exemption. If it is a case that some individuals are abusing the system, of course we would recognize all that for what it's worth. But it's not for a ranking member to just run amok.
On the floor of the House, based on a statement from the MP for Tyne on the disconnection of electricity to district hospitals, the presiding speaker directed the relevant ministries and committees concerned to resolve such issues across the country to prevent loss of lives.
I will direct that the Ministry of Health and that of Energy should work together to find a lasting solution with regards to our hospitals in relation to their electricity bills. Because hospitals, whether you like it or not, are considered to be essential facilities, and they should not experience power cuts in whatever form.
There is fresh contention in Parliament today over the grant of some 12 billion Ghana cedis, allegedly, in tax waivers for the One District, One Factory policy. Duke Benton Opoku, TV3 News, Parliament House, Accra.
Let's do some election-related stories now. As your election command center, if it has to do with politics and elections, we've got you covered. Now let's focus on the upcoming district-level elections, because records from the Electoral Commission reveals a significant decrease in voter turnout in district assembly elections over the past 3 decades. Unimpressed by the figures, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Butchre, is urging the electorate to turn up in their numbers to vote in next week's unit committee and assembly elections.
The 1992 Republican Constitution of Ghana mandates district assembly elections to be held every 4 years. The election, however, faces challenges such as apathy, low participation of women and persons with disabilities as candidates, among others. In 1988, voter turnout reached 59.3%, but declined to 29.3% in 1994, 41.6% in 1998, 33.1% in 2002, 39.3% in 2006, 35.3% in 2010, 35.9% in 2015, and 33.63% in 2019. The Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Butchre, is dissatisfied about the development.
The abysmal voter turnout in local government elections does not speak well of our democracy, especially when Ghana has been a pace setter in decentralization and local governance in Africa. Many countries have come to learn from our decentralization and local governance system.
What can be done to boost voter turnout in the upcoming district assembly and unit committee elections?
As a nation, we have not also been able to promote our local governance well and package it well. Is it also that because we have not put in things that will make it more competitive? Because we know that when it comes to the national, it is political. Because this one is not partisan, then the absence, the mobilization, and then education aspect is not there. And unfortunately, the NCC has not also been able to live up to the task to take up that responsibility.
This year's elections to be held on December 19. Let's now take you to the Amamomo electoral area in Accra, where the incumbent assembly member is showcasing his achievements and aiming to retain his position. 2 others are contesting with him in next week's elections. A report by Godwin Asiedu-Dartey.
The atmosphere in Amamomo is filled with excitement as citizens eagerly anticipate the upcoming district-level elections. Ziad Musa, a 34-year-old assemblyman, has been a prominent figure in the Amamomo electoral area since 2015, leaving a lasting impression on the community.
If it has to do with voting for somebody who has done the job, I don't think they will match me, because none of them has tried even desalting gutters in this community before. None of them has tackled our lighting situation before. None of them has helped in highlighting the educational problems we face. So I don't think they are much competitors, because at the end of the day, people are going to judge your performance on the basis of the things that you've done. If it is that alone, then I'm sure they've not done anything to deserve the votes of the people.
Ziad Musa, confident about securing his position on December 19, views his competitors as no match for his continued leadership in Amamomo. The residents of Old Fadama, one of Accra's largest slums, seem to have lost interest in participating in the district-level elections.
No one has won our heart for now. So the incumbent that we know already, apart from the incumbent, no any other candidate who has even come out publicly or coming to convince anybody this is what I have on board that I'm bringing. Just we just know that we see the posters, they will post it in the night. Daytime you just come and see this one is contesting.
Abraham Odin, another aspirant, campaigns tirelessly under the blistering sun. his dusty feet symbolic of the fervor fueled by the challenging conditions in the slums. This underscores his poised determination to unseat Ziad.
Ziad is not caring. And I have a couple of reasons why he's not caring. For me, I don't think he's a good candidate enough to continue being an assemblyman. In any case, he's been an assemblyman for 2 occasions. And just ask me, what has he got to show that he has done for this community? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And therefore, I cannot continue to be our assemblyman. We need someone who listens with this community and who cares, or who cares for the people. I think the new assemblyman, the incoming assemblyman, it is me, Abraham Odin, number 3. And surely I'll beat him to that.
Nambu Kwesi Bismarck, also an aspirant who spoke to me off camera, is also striving and eagerly awaiting the opportunity to win. The Amamomo electorate are strongly advocating for a significant changes in the electoral area, aiming to improve their quality of life.
As the district level elections draw near, incumbent assemblymen are highlighting their achievements and expressing confidence in retaining their positions on December 19, 2023. Ziad Musa, seeking re-election in the Amamomo electoral area in the Greater Accra region, emphasizes the potential for further community improvement and urges constituents to support his vision. Well, this is just happening next week. The majority of constituents appear to endorse the leadership of Ziad alongside Nambu Kwesi Bismarck and Abraham Odin, who are contesting. They have encouraged residents to participate in the upcoming polls, emphasizing the impact of a dedicated budget for assembly members and enhancing their functions.
The District Assembly Elections Act in 1994 mandates elections every 4 years, 6 months apart from parliamentary elections. Despite this, elections have occurred in 1988 and 89, 1994, 2002, 2006, 2010, 2015 and 2019, providing citizens with a crucial role in local representation and decision-making, but often resulting in apathy. Godwin Asidiba, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's move to the Western region, where Irama Smith takes a look at expectations of residents of a first-class residential area and that of a lower class in Secondary Takoradi.
I went to Airport Ridge residential area. That's a first-class residential area in Takoradi, and the responses that I got for the responsibility of the assemblyman were very interesting.
What I know about this particular assemblyman is that when you call upon him to do something for you, like when there's a problem at the area, busting of pipes and those things, when you call him, he will answer you.
Not the assemblyman to take care of our security, because here armed robbers are too much here. And our pipe too is not normal flowing. That's what I want assemblyman to do for us.
So we moved to Amanfo, which is a slum area within a second-class residential area in Takoradi. And over here, it looks like if you're an assembly member, the expectations are wide.
Assemblyman and now standing in there, and you're fine.
To her, the responsibility of the assemblyman is to ensure that when she's financially constrained, the assemblyman is the responsibility of the assemblyman to also ensure that she gets a little money. He thinks that the responsibility of the assemblyman is to ensure good sanitation, and he's especially concerned about the open gutters.
Community
she also thinks it's the responsibility of the assemblyman to right the wrongs in the community. Now let's find out from the assembly members the level of support they get from the electoral areas.
One of our challenge is the street lights, that is security. But assembly no on enough in my community no. But the community now no, except very few, and what more support in that regards as to how to provide street lights at vantage points.
The Amanfo East assemblyman also has this to grapple with.
Majority of them don't understand the concept of the assembly. I think even the MPs, anything you want to do in your electoral area, you have to go and lobby. The same thing applies to assemblyman. So it's because some of them are ignorant about certain things, they put pressure on you to do things that you can't do.
Erama Smith, TV3 News, Takrady.
All right, so let's jump onto the campaign trail of the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, who says that his running mate for the 2024 general elections will be named in February 2024. He said this after reiterating his comment that he alone cannot decide on who becomes his running mate for the general elections.
I'm saying region be Amekobia, Obia or the candidate. And so, like I say,
it appears every region I go, everyone has a vice presidential candidate for me. I said in Bono region that the NDC constitution has stipulated how a running mate should be selected.
And the Council of Elders, and the deity boom. Now, you share Lester and Crawford Sefata said, you need perfume. And you share Salis na.
I cannot take that decision alone. I have to do that with the Functional Executive Committee and the Council of Elders, and then go through the list of people who are qualified to be running mates. Then we select one. We are going to do that, God willing, February. So all those who want their preferred persons to be selected should pray that our hearts will be touched to select that person. Let us all be patient, and when the time is due, we will.
All right, so let's stay on this subject, and we are joined on Zoom by Dr. Kwame Asasante, who is a lecturer, Political Science Department, University of Ghana, to interrogate deeper, really, what should the considerations be for the former president or the NDC flag bearer in selecting his running mate. Doc, good evening. Thank you for your time.
Good evening.
And my first question would be that if the former president is to select, what are the criteria he needs to strongly consider in, arriving at the best person to partner him for 2024?
I think first and foremost, you need somebody who is competent, because when we are talking about politics, we are talking about results. So we want somebody who is competent enough to step into the shoe of the president if the president cannot continue. So competence is one. You're talking about what? Because you are talking about what? The game of what? The game is a game of numbers. You need somebody who can pull the crowd. I'm talking about somebody who is popular. And popularity must transcend your ethnic group into various groups and the rest of them. So popularity is critical. And apart from that, you want somebody with little or no baggage. But I admit that as humans, we are all fallible and we have baggage here and there, but you want somebody with a very less baggage so that it doesn't become the raw materials for opposition to depend on and then throw them out in the form of campaign. When it happens like that, you realize that the party will not be able to do effective campaign. All that they have to do is to respond to the attacks that are being launched on that individual. So you want somebody with less baggage. You also want somebody who can rub shoulders with any of the running mates that will be, nominated or appointed from other political parties, so that you have somebody who is not a minnow, somebody who is very strong and has all the confidence that he can marshal to be able to rub shoulders with others, running mates from the other political parties. Of course, you want somebody with a record. You can't come into governance when we know you as a person with no record. You need records. It doesn't matter, even if it's not political record. It should be anything, but you must come on board with certain record so as to let people know that you have something to show and that you are going to build on and support your flag bearer to lead the party.
Right. You mentioned, interestingly, your first item on your list will be competence. How would the party measure competence? Should this be competence you must have had in political circles or probably competence in other fields? Hello, Doc.
Yes, I miss you for a while.
Briefly, yes. So I'm asking that you mentioned the subject of competence, and I'm asking that should this be competence in the field of politics that you've been seen actively or busily doing something within the political space, or competence as in whether in business or commerce, whichever way, is also counts?
The necessary skills, and it can produce results. Here I'm talking about that type of competence. It can come from anywhere. Remember that you don't need people with a political background to be in politics. No, you need human beings who are properly in tune with the problems of society, and they have what it takes to deal with the society problem head on.
Right. So my last question, we know that the NPP has clearly given an indication that they are going to be choosing their running mate from the Ashanti region. On the regional scale, where do you think the NDC should be looking at? Because, like you indicated, it does count, especially if the person can pool enough numbers for the ticket.
Yes, the person can come from any region, but if the whole idea is that you really want to ginger people to support the party, then your first port of call should be a place that you have the maximum type of support. So in this case, if you look at it for NDC, it should be what voter region first choice. Second choice will be any of the swing constituencies before Ashanti region comes in. That is if you really want to ginger people to vote and all that. Because if you look at any other consideration, yes, then you can pick the person from any other region and nothing will change. Because if you look at the two regions, Ashanti and East voter, their voting psychology is virtually the same. They believe in what they believe in, and nobody can push them into accepting something they don't believe in. Right. So when you push a candidate there, and the whole idea is that you want to galvanize a lot of support there, I'm afraid it will not work. They will vote the way they vote. So for NDC, I believe that their best bet is to start with voter. If they are not interested in that place, Central or Greater Accra region. But for Ashanti, I'm afraid if it is to ginger people to change their voting behavior and all that, I'm afraid they won't get that. It's pure and simple.
Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante, thank you so much for your time. It's early days yet, but we'll definitely be engaging you further as we build up to 2024.
Well, still on John Mahama's campaign, a member of the Council of State and Paramount Chief of the Sefwi-Osu traditional area, Kateche Kwesi Bumankama II, says chiefs should be given more powers under the Constitution for improved development and growth. During an interaction with the National Democratic Congress flag bearer, John Mahama, he stated that chiefs no longer wield the power that they had in the past. A report by Komla Kluche.
An avowed critic of the NDC administration, the Sefwi-Osu Paramount Chief, appears unhappy since being given a regional status.
We have a new region, but we are lacking in terms of development. We want to know what you do to help develop the region.
Noting the underdevelopment of the region, the Council of State member made a passionate appeal to John Mahama.
I am glad you have visited me in my palace. Let me make this point that politicians have taken the powers of the chiefs, who are now powerless to the extent that people like someone to appear before, threatening to take me to court. But this is not the case. If Mr. Mahama
wants to come back, then he should give us that power again, and we will support him.
While assuring the paramount chief of an even and equitable distribution of the national cake when he assumes office, John Mahama noted a lot would change in his quest to protect the forest cover. Moments thereafter, the NDC flag bearer proceeded to a town hall meeting where the people detailed what they want seen in their manifesto. On the part of John Mahama, teachers deserve better in their service to the nation.
We will develop the economy if we implement the 24-hour economy and improve the cocoa sector. We can abolish the e-levy. If we improve the oil sector and begin to reap the benefits, we can also abolish
TV3 News, Sefi Wioso.
All right, so we are shifting away from politics now to education, because I'm sure you've been following the interdiction of some heads of schools. There have been reactions. The Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, and the Conference of Heads of Assisted Schools, CHAS, have been engaging the Education Minister, the Ghana Education Service, on the interdiction of some heads of the senior high schools over allegations of charging unauthorized fees. General Secretary of NAT, Thomas Musa Tanko, tells TV3 he is confident of a positive outcome for the meeting.
There should be a way out of us working together with the Ghana. The GES cannot do it alone. Sure. The GES cannot do it alone. And looking at the timing, we have the SHS ones in school. Okay, they have reported. They will certainly need these head teachers to give some kind of guidelines and directive as to how the management of the school and other related matters should be done. And if at the beginning of the first semester we are having all these challenges, it can have a significant amount of effect and impact on what happens or what should happen in the school. Sure. And that is what we want to avoid. And we've had extensive discussion with the Director General yesterday. The National Executive of NAT did that yesterday.
In more news tonight, an online records management system will be introduced next year to improve access to information under the Rights to Information Act, Act 989. The Information Minister, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, who made this known, indicated that the next Parliament meeting in early 2024 will consider a legislative instrument to address challenges faced in implementing the RTI law.
3 years into its work, including the imposition of fines on defaulting institutions, the Rights to Information RTI Commission has secured a prosecutorial mandate to compel institutions to respond to and fulfill information requests. Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah at its maiden end-of-year forum announced plans to expand the Commission's reach to enforce the RTI law, Act 989.
It is one of the most expansive laws, and what we've been trying to do is to open ourselves up for feedback and critique after the first 3 years of implementation. It's a system aimed at ensuring that those who want to use an online approach to apply for information can apply from wherever they are in the world and can make their payments and receive their information online. The records officers in the ministries, departments and agencies also then are required to have a digital repository of the kind of information they have. We're hopeful that in the year 2024 we'll be able to have it working fully.
The implementation of the RTI law relies on a legislative instrument that establishes a precise framework, but the absence of a fees regime for determining the appropriate cost of institutional information reproduction has hindered its successful execution.
The law is very clear. In the Act 1080 of 2022, the Fees and Charges Miscellaneous Act, it's very minimal, which ensures that we are not trading information, but we are actually making sure that people have access to information. It has also made certain categories of information free, and certain persons have a chance to have information for free. So that's not a problem.
Around 400 public institutions have been checked for compliance in 2023. The Executive Director, Yao Sapon-Boateng, noted that the ongoing exercise aims to address the issue of some public institutions withholding information.
Our public system has been used to a secretive culture, so it's difficult for them to accept that in this new arrangement we must be open about the things we do. But with education and constant engagement with public institutions, we are likely to overcome this hurdle.
The RTI law passed in 2019 aims to enhance Ghana's democratic credentials by ensuring clear access to information. The forum examined the country's progress in fostering transparency in the first 3 years of its implementation.
Still watching News 360 on TV3. Many more stories to come, including the construction work which is expected to begin on the 30-kilometer Kaswa to Winneba dual carriageway soon. We'll give you an update on that and many more right after this.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities of 1,000 cedis and upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. Call Quick Credit today, 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Get involved and vote in the district level elections to choose assembly members and unit committee members.
Electoral Commission of Ghana ní Ghana bí fẹ́ kó ní àmẹ́yàfọ̀ òṣìkì yẹ 2023 district level elections ní ìbànú jùfọ́ yẹ àfọ̀àbẹ̀yàn gbìnìjìyànmá kẹ̀nẹ̀hún ẹ̀nù Tuesday 19th December 2023 kẹjẹlẹ́ bí gbẹ̀jì pàwọ̀ kẹ̀yàṣí gbẹ̀kẹ̀gbẹ̀jì ẹ̀nùmọ̀ kẹ̀hàrà mẹ́yìn yẹ hẹ́yìn kẹ̀hà district assemblies kẹ̀ unit committees níyọ̀ òṣìkì fún àkúchè yẹ mànẹ́mì fẹ́ yẹ òṣìkì fún wọlú ẹ̀ náà kẹ̀hà district assembly elections ẹ̀ ọba náà òṣìkì fún àkúchè àgbẹ̀ kẹmẹ ní ìdàmọ̀ṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ìkẹ́ àmẹ̀yìnfòní kọ́ni ọ̀fọ̀ òṣìkì ẹ̀ ọ̀hán àmẹ̀tẹ̀ ìmọ̀kùnmẹ́ nọ̀sẹ̀ ọba ayá kọ́ni ahabo òṣìkì fún ògbólò kẹ̀há unit committee elections ẹ̀ nínú hùwẹ̀ ọba náà unit committee ẹ̀ àkúchè ẹgbẹ́ kẹmẹ ní ìdàmọ̀ṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ìkẹ́ àmẹ̀yìnfòní kọ́ni ọ̀fọ̀ òṣìkì ẹ̀ ọ̀hán mẹ̀yì ẹnùmọ̀pẹ́ kẹ́ ọ̀yẹ́ awọ òṣìkì fún kẹ́hàrà àkúchè àná àdàlọ́ yẹ metropolitan municipal kẹ́ district assembly sẹ́ẹ̀mì kẹ́hánọ̀yà yàhẹ́ni ọ̀fọ̀ òṣìkì ẹ̀ yẹ kọ́ni ọ̀yà fún òṣìkì yẹ district level elections ní ìbànú jùfọ́ 19 December 2023.
Your vote is your future.
Dear people, don't let sore throat and cough ruin your voice and your day. Put an end to them with Shautu lozenges. Shautu lozenges contains 5 natural active ingredients. Think natural. Think Shautu. This advert is FDA approved.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one on pass. Allow put tomato flavor no. No color changing like traffic light. Come on.
Tasty Tom dear. It will surely give you value for money. This thick and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste not so dear. On point. Flavor near.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Welcome back to News 360. Let's go to the central region now. Construction work is expected to begin on the 30-kilometer Kaswa to Winneba dual carriageway soon. This is because the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata, has officially cut short for the commencement of work on the project, expected to be completed in 2026.
It's become one of the most dreaded traffic routes in the country. The 30-kilometer stretch from Kaswa to Winneba on a normal day could be a journey of up to 45 minutes. These days, at the peel of the travel time, it could be anything upwards of 2 hours with frustrating traffic infractions. Given that the stretch of road connects the capital Accra to the tourism and education hub of Cape Coast and the western regional capital of Takoradi, the chaos affects a lot more people. But this could change if government sticks to its timeline of completing the reconstruction project by 2026, as said by the Roads and Highways Minister.
This stretch of the road in our network has serious challenges and bottlenecks. That is known to almost everybody in Ghana, and members of the public have been complaining a lot because the traveling public as well as motorists go through a hectic time on daily basis in assessing this stretch of the road. And government wants to tackle the problem head-on.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for business, and the GRA, the Revenue Authority, has been on a row.
Exactly.
Closing shops again.
Yeah, the usual enforcement of the VAT compliance, exactly.
Okay. So more shops being closed down?
They are on it. Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I'm Michael Obodu. Now, the Ghana Standards Authority is set to unveil a new electricity meter testing laboratory before Christmas to ensure consumers are not shortchanged. Director General of the authority, Professor Alex Dodu, made this known at the 12th AGI Ghana Industry and Quality Awards organized here in Accra.
The introduction of the new electricity meter testing laboratory forms part of a new weights and measures initiative which seeks to ensure effective administration of weights in Ghana. According to Professor Alex Dodu, this is part of measures to instill confidence in consumers, ensure that consumers receive what they pay for, and that businesses operate on a level playing field.
And the GSA next week is actually inaugurating its first ever electricity meter testing laboratory, so that every single electricity meter in the Republic of Ghana will be tested to ensure that the electricity you buy or you're supposed to have bought is actually the electricity you actually paid for.
Meanwhile, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, who was guest speaker at the event, made a strong case for proper land litigation system to improve ease of doing business in the country.
It cannot be overemphasized that Ghana's industrialization drive will only thrive in an environment of integrity, accountability, and ethical conduct. I therefore use this opportunity to seek partnership from the business communities on interventions to address the inordinate weight of land litigation on the ease of doing business in Ghana.
For his part, President of the AGI, Dr. Humphrey Ayim-Dake, emphasized the need for government to improve its Planting for Food and Jobs program to feed into industry to enhance value addition in agro-processing.
Our agricultural and industrial sectors, for example, must be interconnected and mutually dependent on each other and are better off collaborating and working interconnectively for the development of stable supply chains and enhancement of value addition in the agro-processing industry.
Vivo Energy Ghana has donated smoke evacuators with accessories and a trolley to the surgical department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The gesture, which aims to promote quality healthcare delivery especially at the breast cancer unit, forms part of Vivo Energy's corporate social responsibility in the area of health.
Vivo Energy's donation exemplifies its dedication to the welfare of communities in which it operates. Corporate Communications Manager Shirley Tony-Kum emphasized the company's commitment to aiding the country in achieving Sustainable Development Goal 3.
Health and safety is integral to our operations. We wanted to support and also fight against breast cancer. So through our deliberation, we were told that they needed smoke evacuator, which is a key equipment during their surgical procedure. The company, being a responsible company, having safety and health as part of its core corporate social responsibility, decided to come and support them in this regard.
A general surgeon at the breast surgery unit, Dr. Josephine Nsafo, expressed gratitude to Vivo Energy for their gesture.
When we are using the electrosurgical pencil called a diathermy, it generates a lot of smoke. And secondhand smoke, as you know, is a risk for patients and staff. So the smoke evacuator takes the smoke away, making the environment safe for patients, safe for staff.
Ms. Tony-Kum used the occasion to urge drivers to prioritize road safety protocols and ensure their safety on the road.
As an oil marketing company, during this period, we want to use it to also encourage our drivers that when they are on the road, we beg them, please stop, think and drive, as we push during our campaign period with the National Road Safety. They should be cautious on the road because a lot of people depend on them.
Vivo Energy is the exclusive marketer and distributor of Shell-branded products and services in Ghana.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority has cracked down on some businesses issuing unapproved invoices. The authority has seized invoices and POS systems some businesses at Teshi in the Greater Accra region for auditing due to the violation of the VAT law. According to the Accra Area Enforcement Team, the businesses were found to be issuing their own invoices, which is illegal. Let's now get the rest of the story in the following report coming up shortly.
The businesses are 4 subsidiaries of Oforimati Enterprise, made up of 3 shops and a warehouse, and K. Tinkuran Enterprise, an iron rod dealer. These are located at Teshi Agbleza, Teshi Gonor School, and Tribleo. The Accra Area Enforcement Team found that these businesses were issuing their own invoices, contravening the VAT law. During the enforcement exercise focusing on VAT invoice compliance, the GRA seized invoices and point-of-sale systems belonging to these businesses. According to the enforcement team, this incident highlights the GRA's commitment to ensuring fair and transparent tax collection practices. By taking action against non-compliant businesses, the authority aims to level the playing field for all businesses and protect government revenue. Failure to comply with the VAT Act can result in penalties, fines, and even legal action.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next, the sports.
Never stops until the job is done. Turn your home and business into an internet highway and experience the revolution of working and playing without limits. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh to sign up for MTN Fiber for Home and Business today.
We watch the Premier League on Super Sport like we are in a stadium.
That was not an offside. Rashford was in an offside position, but he wasn't interfering with play. And Bruno scored.
This Christmas, dear, entertainment galore on DSTV. The contents just go over you. Dial *759# to reconnect or stay connected now.
It's time to win big, sir! From now to the end of December, win instant prizes whenever you buy 30 Ghana cedis or more of Gino or Promo Tomato Mix, Gino Curry and Gino Max. Simply dial *844*99#. The code from your coupon followed by the hash key and follow the instructions to redeem your prizes like TVs, phones, blenders, cloth, airtime, and an opportunity to win our grand prize of a whole kitchen makeover! A whole kitchen makeover! Yes, and keep buying for a surprise visit from us.
No, Kululu!
Just buy, scratch, and win! And it's simple!
This advert is FDA approved.
There is something that drives you. The very thought of it fuels you. And even when the road gets rocky, you keep going. Just to get the results that matter. It could be about you. It could be the lives you touch. It could be about something dear to your heart. Such results leave a sweet lingering smile, a sense of fulfillment. That's why you work till late, yet rise with the sun. Yes, your drive knows no limit. Do it with Stanbic Bank, where we spur you on to get the results that matter.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Yao Ofosulabi is here with the latest in the world of sport news. And riddle, what has selling of cake got to do with a football match? You have the answer.
Yeah, we have the answer, but the answer will come very soon. I just need. We're telling this interesting story,
right,
for our viewers. Okay. Let's get into the sports news this evening here on News 360. My name is Yao Ofosulabi. Now, Araba Kweku, a cake vendor, has been selling her items during Asante Kotoko matches for about 2 decades. As part of GPL Express that airs later tonight, my colleague Kelvin Oswansa caught up with her during the Super Clash on Sunday and tells her story.
Football and commerce are intertwined, and especially when it's food. Cake vendor Araba Kweku has been selling at the stadium in over 2 decades. She doesn't waste any minute when enjoying the game and what it offers, even though she has to raise income at the end of the day.
I'm a ladies into me a footballer. I'm a footballer until I'm a manager was said to be a member of Mumuran. Once a Drew Brevia, I say, Yanin in Tia, say, Dana, Yatawa, watching that, yeah, Sanaya.
Na Obeton mana ujesi honom na ushi jamana ayana entete ose weja oneme
acho da bi kula entete me kula entete me minim se me se mora no kula sunsun no kula beta eche mama ton ne ma no me ton pa me ton ayada ya ye wie kula me tumi asan foton ti enje ha me kula
ti die si we ye be pon na waton wi
sa pepe.
Right, so tonight on GPL Express, that story will come your way at 9:30 p.m. My colleague Kelvin Oswansa has you on lock in there. Let's move on now and do some more stories. But later tonight in the UEFA Champions League, it's RB Leipzig who take on... they've already played that game against the Young Boys. They beat them by 2-1. And Man City also beat Red Star Belgrade by 3-2. And then Antwerp will take on Barcelona later tonight. Porto will also face Shakhtar Donetsk. Borussia Dortmund will take on PSG. Is one of the biggest games tonight. Newcastle United against Milan, also one of the big games tonight. Celtic take on Feyenoord and Atletico Madrid will face Lazio. 2 teams that are in a rich vein of form this season in their respective leagues.
Well, let's do some rugby news now because the Ghana Women's Rugby League team has a shot at proving their worth in a 3-leg Rugby League International Series with Nigeria. Now, with the first 2 legs having ended in defeat, the Leopardesses of Ghana are banking their hopes on the final leg of the qualifier. 3 Sports' Asiedu-Dartey has more in this report.
2, 3. Let's go.
The Ghana Women's Rugby League is participating in a 3-leg Women's Rugby League International Match Series, the first of its kind in Africa. Not only impacting Ghana's world rankings, the match series presents an opportunity for Ghana to gain full membership with the International Rugby League. The first 2 games ended in defeat for the Leopardesses of Ghana. However, 1 game remains, and they are hoping and training in order to beat Nigeria when they conclude the series. With 2 losses down the drain and 1 game remaining, Jacqueline Ansah maintains that a win is necessary for the team.
A win is very necessary for us. As the Leopards of Ghana, it would actually help us in our ranking on the world map. So we need this win to push us to a very good standing. So we really need this win.
Comparing the first 2 games, Grace Love Hammond says the second was an improvement on the first.
Second game was better than the first game, and what I believe we did differently was the fact that we trusted in our team. Like, we were really hungry for that win, even though we still lost. You can actually see by the difference in margin of the scores that we cut down by.
Apparently, losing twice does not mean much because Millicent Njomaba is confident that the Leopardesses of Ghana are in no way intimidated by the Green Falcons of Nigeria.
No, we are not intimidated by the Nigerian team at all, because comparing the previous games, the first one was a big loss for us, the second one was much better, but I think we are steadily gaining ground, and for this 3rd game to be happening here in our forte, we believe that with the home support and the confidence that we have, we'll be able to beat them easily.
Meanwhile, coach of the Ghana Women's Rugby League team, Riddick Aliba, has called for sponsorship for the team and urged the public to support them.
The ladies have been training hard, really committed. We are looking out for the game on the 28th. We'll ask Ghanaians to support the ladies. As you can see, they are putting in the work. We really need the support. We need them to cheer them up.
On January 28th, 2024, here at the University of Ghana, the Leopardesses of Ghana are going to take on the Green Falcons of Nigeria to conclude the 3-leg international match series. Let us prepare to come watch and support them. Asiedu-Dartey for 3 Sports, Accra.
Well, that's my colleague Asiedu-Dartey there with that rugby story, ending the sports news this evening here on News 360. My name is Yao Fuzulabi.
Hey there, do you want to win a brand new iPhone, a smart TV, a super cool refrigerator, free data, and many more spectacular weekly prizes? Or perhaps you just want to jet off to the dazzling city of Dubai? Then get ready for the Indomie Pack of Fortune promo. Here's a scoop. Just buy any pack of Indomie and find your unique code inside. Log on to www.indomieghana.com or dial *844*44# to participate and unleash amazing gifts right on your fingertips. Remember, the more you buy, the higher your chances of winning an all expenses paid journey to the vibrant city of Dubai. So hurry, grab your Indomie packs and win big with the Indomie Pack of Fortune promo. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie instant noodles taste great. This advert is FDA approved.
Dear people, don't let sore throat and cough ruin your voice and your day. Put an end to them with Shautu lozenges. Shautu lozenges contains 5 natural active ingredients. Think natural. Think Shautu. This advert is FDA approved.
Get involved and vote in the district level elections to choose assembly members and unit committee members. Get involved.
Electoral Commission of Ghana, Ekai Ghana for say 2023 district level elections no Basso Ebenada 19th December 2023 a free anopano from 7 a.m. to see number no 5 p.m. Yakotwa ba eya na musifo akwa district assembly sahodo and the unit committees e wo yen electoral areas. Abatwe Basso polling stations e wo omen afanan bia. Ballot papers I debate district assemblies election no. Electoral area okotwa ba no ehodi no eguso afenkofo ayakoto wonso aba no so wondin enwo mu photo ewoso to abama onipa ba akopɛ wo wi a kwaje unit committee ballot paper no eno so you need to crop what ho edin anyone near wojina no din ene wo photo eguso to abanma nipa 5 pe e wo ballot paper no so onua fa ho hye abatwe mu na koyi anamusifo a wojina e wo potem won kosum e wo metropolitan municipal and a district assembly emaw kai say district assembly any unit committee members wo mu ye wanamusifo a wojina ho ma won koso ye die ene mpontu.
Get involved. Your vote is your future.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP Lifestyled, Vodafone, Further Together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome back to News 360 on TV3. Time now for entertainment, and Raspuom was here. Raskuku, okay.
Yeah, he's in the news.
Yeah. What has he been saying though?
He says that he's had to change the date for his event, and he wants to, put things in place properly for his people in Dome. And I know you're part of it, Martin. You definitely have to rep when it comes to that event. And so let's get into the details. My name is Anita Ikia Ekufu, and reggae dancehall artist Raskuku says he writes and releases music in the local dialect to communicate with fans and target listeners in a language they will understand. The woke composer was reacting to a question on why he does not sing in patois as a reggae artist. Let's talk about reggae music in Ghana. Now, you've been defending reggae music.
Yeah, I've been defending from way back.
Music. I mean, when we mention reggae in Ghana, poem comes to mind.
Yes.
How has the journey been for you?
Yeah, from Asiedu-Dartey, father, show them love.
How many years has it been?
13 years.
It's been 13 years, a long time.
Yeah, being a reggae dancehall artist. Yeah, and everybody can attest to it that Raskuku has done well. Each and every year, Raskuku will bring in a song that everybody loves. In between the 13 years, I've got so many reggae songs that they use. Everybody who loves reggae can.
What's your favorite?
Asiedu-Dartey still, the first song.
The first song?
Yeah, Asiedu-Dartey is bigger than Jaja Wusaye. Asiedu-Dartey is bigger than Mempaibo. Even though people see Mempaibo to be big to know, Asiedu-Dartey. So Asiedu-Dartey, na Rasta, na Meyemo, Sheme is the biggest song.
That
the biggest reggae song on the street, yes.
And that's a song that blew you up?
Yes, that's a song that people were like, hey, Rasta Ben on your part, yeah, that is me.
I don't know on your patois.
Yeah, I want the people to feel me, to understand what I'm saying. They have the patois song already. So when I came in, and your brother Sam, a cabro and Queen Elizabeth na first. Until you can't miss me Africa, me Ghana, and I speak Tree, I speak Ghana, a little bit of Hausa, Igbo and things. So why not fix them in and let the people understand what you are saying?
So you don't have to have the patois feel, you don't have to go
to Jamaica. It's not
you
about
don't have
patois.
to do the other thing.
It's not about patois. When you check Alpha Blondie, when you check Bob Marley himself, he didn't sing his songs in patois. Lucky David. Do it in whatever language you understand, and the people will accept you.
All right, and away from that, playwright and CEO of Image Bureau, George Quay, has bemoaned the lack of respect and appreciation for the arts in Ghana, and referencing the case where the head quiz mistress of the National Maths and Science Quiz made some unsavory comments about school singing and dancing. George Quay remarked that the case where individuals tend to dismiss or devalue artistic contributions is very unfortunate. We sit in a country where someone who is a science and arts-based will sit down and spit that arts. When someone complains, everybody says it's okay. The person didn't mean it is what she says. What are you talking about? What has maths and science done for the country? He noted. That'll be all for the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ekufu. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Anita. Coming up, international news.
The High Court in Uganda's capital, Kampala, has sentenced a 25-year-old serial killer to 105 years in prison. Musa Sizi was sentenced on Wednesday after pleading guilty to the murder of 3 women said to be his girlfriends and a 3-month-old girl who was the child of one of his victims. He reportedly pursued romantic relationships with the women before sexually assaulting and killing them, then burning and disposing of their bodies, the court heard. Justice Margaret Mutonyi said the long sentence was necessary to protect young women, including Musa Sizi's 6-year-old daughter, the privately owned NTV channel reported.
And that will bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for sharing the last hour with us. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
I am Portia Gabor. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a lovely evening.